Good morning, 30 minutes after the hour. Thanks for joining us on the Weather Channel. Let's check on the current weather situation, of course. As you can see, the satellite picture shows fair skies over the east. Big dome of high pressure really setting the standards. It's the latter part of April, but it feels a little bit more like May with widespread 80s from St. Louis back to our nation's capital and even down south, the Atlanta area. We've been watching some thunder showers, though, widely scattered over the plains. They may become more numerous later this afternoon, and even tomorrow the stage is still set for the thunderstorm activity in the nation's midsection, because with this high pressure system we have the backside of the high and the southerly winds bringing in the moisture and increasingly humid conditions, and a broad trough of low pressure out west. A lot of instability, very unsettled out west. We've had some locally heavy snow. It's snowing right now in Tonopah and Ely, Nevada. We've had a couple of inches so far here, and we've had heavy snow blanketing the Sierras with a winter storm warning still in effect for the Sierra Nevada range south of Yosemite Park. Rain showers in San Jose and Moffett in Central California, and we've even had a little bit of light rain around San Diego this morning as the cold front pushes through the southern parts of the Golden State. The northeast, though, looking good this morning. We have clear skies at Central Park. Sunny conditions at LaGuardia's Airport have been reported right now. We do have west winds, though, and it's going to be fairly breezy near Long Island. Very gusty winds near the seas here, so be careful. Average seas of about 4 to 7 feet in East Long Island today. So if you're going out to the Sound or the lake shores here of New Jersey, just be wary, because along the coastal areas there is a chance for the gusty conditions and the choppy waters with those west winds pushing over much of the area. But again, those southwest winds will really heat things up with afternoon highs today in the 80s around the New York City area. Down south, it's going to spread the sunshine and the warmth. We do run into this trouble spot, though, this front. It continues to lollygag out here in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's still sparking off a few light rain showers, mainly along the southern Gold Coast here this morning. But these showers tend to be pushing off to the east now. We have had reports of maybe some water spouts in the northern Bahamas here, right to the north around Bimini. So just to be wary, all mariners, be on the lookout. These water spouts can certainly bring you big problems, gusty winds, and even the potential for lightning with some of these storms. So just be careful. The nation's midsection, well, here we have windy conditions because the winds out of the south have been in excess of 20 and 30 miles an hour around Concordia, Kansas. Be careful if you're planning on going to the lakes today, your area lakes, then you might find some breezy conditions. So you want to be warm, though, with those southerly winds with 80s over much of this area. We even have a few thunder showers developing in central Iowa around Des Moines. You see those showers and even popping up across the lower peninsula of Michigan. So very unstable and volatile air mass here. So we'll watch it throughout the afternoon. Now a little farther west, and here's where we have that broad trough of low pressure. And you can see the scattered showers in the San Francisco Bay Area, even Port Angeles here to the north. In western Washington, we have some light rain developing in the area. Snow heavy in the mountains, the higher terrain of Nevada and the Sierra Nevada range, the mountains in central California. And again, we anticipate an additional 6, perhaps 8 inches here before all said and done. Temperatures 48 degrees in Seattle this morning, and afternoon high today in the middle 50s, maybe for the Seattle area, so a little chilly over the Pacific Northwest. Even LA highs today in the low and middle 60s, so temperatures across the southern parts of the Golden State will be chillier than what it should be this time of year. Notice how they're warming up, though. That's with those south winds. Omaha, Nebraska, 64 degrees, 66 in Wichita, 64 in Oklahoma City, Houston already at 70, 66 in Dallas, Atlanta it's 60, and 57 right now in New York City. Here's the current scenario. High pressure over the east, broad trough of low pressure out west. That's where we have all the unsettled weather, but that will also set the stage for the storms right here in the nation's midsection as this front pushes off to the east, and that interacts with the warm and moist air that we already have in place across the plains. Later this afternoon, there you see the storms from South Dakota through Texas and western Kansas. System pushes even farther east come tomorrow, but still pretty much the same general area is suspect for the thunderstorms, and that's in the nation's midsection. It remains quiet for most of the eastern seaboard, but looks like another trough of low pressure approaches the west coast. So more rain in northern California around Redding and Arcata, and looks like more snow in the central mountains. Afternoon highs today, 80s with that high pressure, but the storm system out west cool things down a bit, and overnight temperatures in the 20s. As the storm system pulls out of the intermountain west into the plains, it'll bring with it the cooler air with 40s and 50s for highs, but still.
Dealer.
We have had reports earlier this morning of some scattered light rain in West Texas from the Rio Grande up to the Panhandle. Not a whole lot of rain right now, but later this afternoon the rain will become even more evident, and even the chance for thunder showers in this area. So we've chosen this area as our Michelin travel trouble spot. If you have travel plans over the Panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma, say Interstate 40, even Interstate 20 back here through the Rio Grande, you need to prepare. A little slick and slippery for you throughout the afternoon. Now, rainy travel extending north too, and out west, where we'll find widely scattered showers, and more showers in South Florida too. The best chance of strong to severe storms over the plains. We will definitely watch this area throughout the afternoon. Any watches or warnings warranted out of the area will be the first to pass on to you. Very windy in the nation's midsection and out west, and watch out for high elevation. Good morning, Tri-State area, 3 minutes before 7 as we detail the conditions for you today. Well, yesterday we got up to 63 degrees, and guess what? It's going to be warmer today. We told you that yesterday. So there you see the clouds. They are well to our north. And actually, the sun has been up for about an hour or so. Again, it's going to intensify as we go through the afternoon. All complements of high pressure. It's well to our south, and this system will continue to move off out into the Atlantic, and we definitely will have the true southwest component to the wind for most of the day, and you know what that means. A southerly wind certainly will heat things up over the tri-state region. Here's tomorrow morning, and notice high pressure is well on out of the way, but we still have a south wind in the tri-state area, so even tomorrow it's going to be fairly mild. Look at these highs today. Remember, the normal is about 64 degrees. Midtown up to 80, 81 in Clifton and Edison, 82 in the lower Hudson River Valley around West Point. A little cooler out on east to Long Island, and average seas here too will be some 4 to 7 feet, so kind of gusty, and of course those geographical areas, you know, will play into the funneling of those southwest winds, so be wary. It's going to be fairly windy out on east to Long Island. Southampton should get up to about 68 degrees, so a little chillier on the coastal areas, but you go inland and you really warm up a lot. 79 in Washington and 78 in Sussex, with morning lows in the mid and upper 50s, so not even cooling much tonight across the tri-state region. Here's your forecast. Well, looking good. Wednesday, Thursday, hey, the entire week we'll find the sunshine with highs in the 70s, so not bad at all. Enjoy your Sunday.
This is the Weather Channel. Bureau.
Good morning, 8 minutes after the hour. Let's check now on the Bowdoin Beach report, starting with the Great Lakes and the Northeast. We have south winds here, and I tell you what, it's going to be fairly blustery. Winds of about 15 and 25 miles an hour if you're going to the lake shore. Be wary. Also, those winds near Long Island Sound may be in excess of 25 miles an hour. Small craft, be advised. Small craft advisories have been issued for the gale winds here. Sunshine, though, builds as high pressure slides off the middle Atlantic coast. The sunshine is still widespread, though, from New York and Boston to Nashville and even back to Cleveland and Cincinnati. Look at the water temperatures. They've been warming up now for the last couple of weeks, and certainly warmer to the south with upper 70s around Miami's beach. Not bad at all. Look at the sunshine through Atlanta. So if you're heading over to Myrtle Beach or St. Simon's Island, no big problems with the winds here. Now out west, we still have the onshore flow. Very choppy, the waters along the coast of Oregon and California, with a limited sunshine, a big powerful storm system developing out west. As a matter of fact, we'll show you some radars associated with that storm next. 21 minutes after the hour now, and you're just in time for the 5-day business planner. Well, I tell you now, we have several systems bombarding the west. We've had the rain, thunderstorms, and snow. It's been heavy blanketing the higher elevations over the Sierras. We've had some heavy snow, and there's more on the way as we have some snow being imported right now in the Blue Canyon area. Looks like the Wasatch Front of Utah and the Bitterroots of Montana and Idaho can get an additional 6 inches of snow, perhaps, over the next 24 to 48 hours. We could cut the nation in half, and the western half, that's where you'll find all the inclement weather. But over the east, very nice for the most part. Wall-to-wall sunshine with afternoon highs in the 80s. 80s widespread from St. Louis to Cleveland and even over to New York City and Philadelphia. Of course, you know much of the South will find the 70s and 80s, or 80s should I say. Widespread or scattered showers over Florida and the Gulf Coast, but nothing compared to all the wet weather and the inclement conditions we have in store for the West. Now notice by tomorrow morning we'll be dealing with 3 systems out west. One just approaching the California coast will bring more showers, and that means more snow too in the Sierra Nevada range. But right here, this cold front is becoming well organized, and as that colder air behind the system interacts with the warm and moist air that we already have building this morning, today and even tomorrow, there's a chance for scattered showers, thunderstorms, and even severe weather over the plains. Afternoon highs there, you see the 80s, wall-to-wall for the east, but the cooler air behind with highs in the 50s and 40s, and look at these morning lows dropping to 30s and 20s in the higher terrain, but only cooling to the 50s and 60s over the east. Looks like tomorrow, another day with 80s widespread over the east. Looks like New York City in the middle 70s again tomorrow, and in the low 70s around the Boston area. We will try to trim away some of this warm air as the system moves into the plains, and behind it we have the colder air building over the northern Rockies, the northern and central plains Wednesday and Thursday. But it looks like by that time the coldest air shifts to the east and the ridge of high pressure will rebuild out west, and that means the temperatures will rebound. The nation's midsection tomorrow, strong, severe storms are possible, even tornadic activity not out of the question. Most of this moves to the Mississippi Valley Tuesday, and then the system will kind of hang up here Wednesday and Thursday. So a very busy week.